First of all, let me say it was an amazing movie. Very well written, very well directed. It was shot beautifully. It was dark, it was gritty, it was funny. It gave you everything you would want in a movie. Good story, good plot points. There was sex, there was violence, there was love, there was sadness, there was jokes. It was cohesive, it was well thought about. It was historically accurate in regards to the Jim Crow era. Phenomenal film through and through. But something tells me that the reaction that you are waiting for is not a reaction on the movie per se, but the hypotheticals within the movie. I said it once and I'll say it again. There are certain tales that are told about vampires for the sole reason of making humans, us, feel like we're safe. They're also told to bump up the drama, to give the drama a little boost, to enhance the conflict between your protagonist and your antagonist. For there to be deep drama and great conflict, the goals of the protagonist have to directly conflict with the goals for the antagonist. In Sinners, one of the goals of the protagonist is to protect himself and his people. The goal for the antagonist is to turn humans into vampires and or eat them. Now, hypothetically, in the real world, vampires don't need your permission to come into your house or wherever you are dwelling at the moment. That's not a thing, hypothetically. But to keep this kind of conflict going within a movie, you have to give the weaker bunch something that stops the antagonist. It's like the tiny stone that took down Goliath. You got to give him a stone. And that stone is not allowing vampires to come in unless they're invited. Being told that all you have to do is stay inside and not invite them in is a really good way to keep people feeling as though they're safe. People nowadays don't really believe in that as much, but in the 1920s, they absolutely believe that. The reason why this is believable is because there was a way to keep vampires not only out of your house, but miles away from you. And that's with pink roses. So if you just so happen to have pink roses outside of your house in the 1920s, then you might believe that you were protected because you never invited them in. Another thing that was very much so believed in the 1920s was vampires don't like garlic. Being told that vampires don't like garlic was widely believed because people needed something to believe in. Anyone who believed that never really had any proof. They just believed it because they were told it. Why? Because they need something to believe in. They need something that makes them feel safe. The funny thing, though, is that garlic is a natural blood thinner. So do with that as you must. The most intriguing thing about this movie to me was this character. And I'm really trying to figure out how Ryan Coogler figured this out. This is Sammy, Stack and Smoke's little cousin. Sammy's character seems to be based off of Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson is the guitarist who got his magical guitar from the devil. And that was why he was able to play so well. Now, in the film, Sammy's father keeps making reference to Sammy playing around with the devil. He says, you keep playing around with the devil, your day's going to come. Judgment day's going to come. You got to stop playing with the devil. He also seems to become really good at the guitar really fast. They don't say that, but it seems as though he becomes good out of nowhere. There's a point in the movie where he's riding around in a car with Stax, and he starts to play his guitar for Stax, and Stax is blown away by how well he plays the guitar and by how well he sings. Granted, Stax and Smoke had been away in Chicago doing their thing for years. So, yes, obviously he could have learned to play the guitar within those years that they were gone. But it's how well he was playing that surprised the hell out of him. Also, this guitar was given to Sammy by Stax and Smokes. So that's what I mean by his character kind of loosely being based off of Robert Johnson, because Robert Johnson gets his guitar from the devil. He got his guitar from his cousins. You could low key say Ryan Coogler was doing something with that because his cousins were up to some devilish shit. And really nobody in the town wanted to fuck with them. Like like everybody in the town knew who Stacks and Smokes were. Nobody really wanted to fuck with them like that. Right? And who else you don't want to fuck with like that? You don't really want to fuck with the devil. But I might be reaching. Now, here's the part that really intrigues me. Robert Johnson's character is actually based off of a real person who got their musical talents from witches. He was then given a guitar by a merchant for free. He asked him, why is he giving it to him? He said he just felt like he should give it to him. Years later, witch hunters started hunting witches and anybody who got their gifts from witches. A lot of people in that time would call witches the devil. And this then ties in with vampires because the first vampire was supposedly, hypothetically, created by a witch. His character seems to be more based off of the guy who actually got his powers from witches rather than Robert Johnson. Think about it. He gets his gift from the devil, witches. He's then hunted down by someone who looks a lot like a witch hunter, minus the fangs. There were a lot of witch hunters in Ireland, and I just put this together. He was singing a lot of Irish songs in the movie. Stop it. Ryan Coogler, who you talking to, fam? He was also given this guitar for free by his cousins who are merchants. They were selling alcohol in Chicago. They came back to the South to sell you the Boom Boom Room. They're salesmen. And they gave it to him for free while doing devilish shit. I have never heard anyone tell that story before, so I'm trying to figure out who the fuck Ryan Coogler talking to. He might just be that creative, you know. He might just be that creative, but